obviously we should start with qualifying. What did you see? What are your qualifying notes?
My qualifying notes are kind of simple. One, toes or toes, not like feet toes, but like getting a toe from the car in front of you. So
The
like
the car toes.
yeah, the car toes, the little things. But no, like the what's it called, like in NASCAR, like the draft or whatever,
Yeah.
was really OP. Like that was the strategy, is try to get with behind the car ahead of you, get that toe to get that little bit more speed. My qualifying one notes are toes are OP. Aston Martin looks quick, and fun fact, this is 120 years of Monza.
Oh,
Uh,
happy birthday,
yeah.
Monza. Belated
But
birthday.
yeah, but I put Aston looks quick, but the first five out were Isaac, Stroll, Franco, Pierre, and Lawson, which Lawson's lap time got deleted, so
Hmm.
he just went a little wide. And then little note, Russell got through on mediums.
Oh. Oh.
Everyone was on softs, and he was on mediums and got it. So Mercedes, quick, we'll find
Well,
out.
Russell, kind of a freak.
Yeah. In Q2, nothing extreme happened. Lando cut turn one. It's a little chicane on Monza.
Hmm.
So they told him to box, so he didn't get a set like the first lap like they normally do. They usually go out at the beginning, wait a little bit, and then go back towards the end. But he still made it through. The five out after Q2 were Ali Hulkenberg, Carlos Sainz, Alex Albon, and Esteban Ocon. And then Q3, Norris got the toe from Oscar. So a little Team Papaya rules right there to help out. Then Verstappen set a new lap record, not just at Monza, you might think. Overall F1 lap record.
Wow. How fast?
He's an average speed of 164.465, some odd more numbers, miles per hour.
Wow.
That's average pace that he was driving around that track.
That's insane to think about. Not insane as in like because Monza's a fast track. That's just that's the whole bit of that track. But maintaining that speed for
Yeah.
as long as the races, which we'll get into later too.
And I'm pretty sure that they one of the things that this will go tie into more of the race, but Verstappen said to Lauren that like he wanted to set up his car like low drag, like just no downforce,
Hmm.
just a straight line, and that was different to what Lauren really wanted the car to be set up. And he's like, okay, cool, I trust you, and it worked for qualifying.
I mean,
And
if
it was
anybody
insane.
is gonna be able to handle a car with no downforce, it's Max.
Max could drive a car on three wheels, like how Lewis Hamilton finished Silverstone that one year. I feel
Uh
like
huh.
Max can do a race that way and
Absolutely.
somehow still get into the points.
Hmm.
But anyways, that was my last Q3 note. Oh, and then Alonso got P9. So the Astons look quick, but Stroll out. And then Alonso got P9.
It's been. I mean, we talked about this last week too. The Aston has gotten progressively better over the last, I'd say, few weeks, few races, and it's been noticeably progressively better.
Yeah.
And both of them doing as well as they have been. I know Lance is knocked out, but Lance was still contending.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy how fast that car really is right now, especially like uh like they have one of the greatest race engineer designers and Adrian Newey coming up next season, but like I'm sure he's not really working on this car too much, but like he's still probably there and it's like, hey, you could probably do this a little differently.
Yeah, he
And
says he's not working on the car, but he's
yeah,
got to be giving some like tips and tricks.
that guy sees air. Like that guy just like the vortices. He probably just walks through the air and just sees vortices somehow.
Not
He's just a living air tunnel.
not Formula One, but there is a old ESPN film called Three. It's about Dale Earnhardt, and there's a line in that movie where Barry Pepper, the man playing Dale Earnhardt, is talking to his friend, and he's like, "I feel like I can see the air," and that's
Yeah.
exactly what I just pictured.
Yeah.
I think that's a similar situation.
I mean, the guy's old school. He still does drawings on pen and paper, and he's one of the greatest race designers of all time. And I even got a book, How to Build a Race Car, from Adrian
Mhm.
Newey. It's not from him. He wrote the book. I didn't get it from
Oh,
him,
he
but
didn't
yeah,
give it to you personally.
no, unfortunately not. No,
To my
but
buddy Lewis Hart.
Yeah. But no, that was qualifying. It was pretty straightforward. Nothing too really eventful happened except for the Max just being the fastest driver right now
The
of all time,
fastest driver
technically.
in literally the world.
Yeah, of all time, because like no one's ever driven that fast for that long in F1, the pinnacle of motorsports.
That's true. You're right. Well, speaking of our pinnacle, it's time to talk about the race. Right off the bat, the very first thing we need to talk about is Hulkenberg's DNF on the formation lap.
Would it be a DNS?
Or
Did
DNF.
not start?
You're right.
Yeah.
I meant DNS. I typed DNF and I read DNF because I'm Ron Burgundy. Yes, Hulk's DNS on the formation lap. I can't think of a worse thing. Like I would rather not start a race at all, not start the formation lap, than get out there on the formation lap and then you hear on your headset, "Hey, we got to bring it in. We're done.
Yeah,
We just can't do this."
yeah, I feel like that's has to be one of the worst feelings because like as an athlete or any person who does something for a living, even if you go in for work, you have this routine that you do.
Hmm.
Like, hey, I gotta do this, especially athletes get more real ritualistic and everything. But just imagine like, oh yeah, don't do it. No, we're done. It's like it feels like such a waste. It's such a uh I don't know, like I can't think of a word. It just would suck. And I've
Devastating.
had some, yeah, devastating would be a great word. I've had something similar. Granted, it's video games, it's simulators, but for iRacing, endurance racing, it's like, okay, cool, we all take turns. And it's like, cool, it's my turn to go. Hey, I'm ready to go. And it's like, oh, cars crash, we're done.
Mm.
It's like, mm,
So I like to watch the Sky Sports broadcast for all
okay.
the Formula One races. I know that is sort of a hot take. I really like Crofty and Brundle's chemistry and the way they talk, and I'm a broadcasting nerd, and I think that they are great.
Yeah.
I'm not disparaging the F1 TV broadcast, but there's just something about Crofty and Brundle that just feels a little more inviting to me. I'm not sure what it is, but I believe on the Sky Sports broadcast, they mentioned it was something electrical.
Okay.
Unless there's been anything different that's come out, but
I haven't heard anything, but yeah.
it was obviously irrecoverable. Irrecoverable.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks. It really does. Especially Monza. I mean, it's a great track. And Hulkenberg, he got into Q2. Like he granted he got out of Q2, but still he got into Q2. He was faster than eight other drivers.
He really was. My next highlight I wanted to touch on was much like last week. Turn one and Max Verstappen continues to be incredible.
Yeah. That's this time kind of for unrelated or opposite reasons because he cut the track.
He did.
Yeah, and he granted he had to get the position back, and he did it in the Max Verstappen fashion. Not nothing like when he had to give the position back at Saudi Arabia to Lewis Hamilton that one time, and he brake checked him.
Yeah,
But
true.
that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, he did have to do that, and it's just Max is just so quick.
It's insane how quick he is. He's just in a different universe. And I know obviously you can't call him the GOAT, the greatest of all time, because you can't even quantify that. I think
Yeah,
that it is bad to consider somebody GOAT while they're goated while they're still participating in the thing they're participating in. It feels more like a hindsight kind of stat to me. But
yeah,
I mean, Max is obviously a contender for greatest of all time, but it's hard to say that when you have Lewis, when you have Schumacher, when you have Senna in the past.
yeah.
It's very much it all feels very subjective too, or subjective too,
Both.
because it is. I mean, by definition, it's greatest of all time. There can be only one, but how do you quantify that in a sport like this, or any sport where there's many legends all the freaking time?
Yeah, and it's especially hard to compare it to like people like Ayrton Senna who tragically lost their life while racing in the middle of their career.
Hmm.
Because who knows what Ayrton Senna would have done post 1994.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I agree with you on that take. One note I did have from the start of the race,
Hmm.
uh, Liam Lawson started on softs. He was the only car to start on the soft tires.
He was. I made a mental note of that. That was an interesting choice.
Yeah, I literally have on my notes. Liam is the only one that started on softs. What or WTF V carb? Like, because again, like as a V carb fan, it just feels like they always have this weird strategies. They try to be different. They want to be cool. It's like almost like they're trying to like roll the dice. Hopefully, they roll something really good so they get promoted or demoted to Red Bull.
The only thing I can think of why they did that is because he was already starting at the back of the grid, and maybe they were hoping he could take advantage of the soft tires to try to gain a few positions before the pit stop cascade started. But the problem with that is this track in soft tires, they
Yeah,
wear really quickly. And they must have been trying to do a reverse strategy from what McLaren's strategy was. That's the only
yeah,
thing I can think of, and either the car couldn't do it or Liam just couldn't make it work.
yeah. The only thing I could think of was they were trying to like undercut people by being
Mhm.
faster and then maybe go hards and then maybe mediums at the end or something like that. Hopefully a caution comes out or maybe they nurse those hards to the end, somehow managing that. But it just I don't get it.
I don't either. It was a really weird situation.
Yeah.
Um, I've been seeing this clip go around social media, but Oscar's overtake on Charles on lap 5, that was
Oh
hot.
yeah.
That was a really hot overtake. It was steamy. I loved it. People make jokes all the time. I'm generalizing. I've talked with people who make jokes all the time about how there's never any passing in Formula 1.
Oh
There
yeah.
is, it's just there's
Yeah.
not many lead changes in Formula 1, which is a big difference.
Yeah. I completely agree.
But Oscar's overtake on lap 5, it was incredible. He rope-a-doped Charles and just got around him without even skipping a beat or missing a beat at all. It was awesome to watch.
Yeah. It was a great move and especially Monza, where it's you have these fast straights and you got to really set up your car in the pass and you got to like play your opponent to get him in the next corner, and he did it perfectly.
Mhm. Lap 10, Fernando Alonso. What happened there? What happened to Adrian Newey's baby? Future baby?
Eh, is that the suspension failure?
That it's a suspension failure.
I had that on lap 25. Maybe I had that wrong, but anyways, uh, yeah, I don't know what happened. It just he looked like he came out of the Ascari chicane, hit the curbs, and just the car just like I don't want to work anymore. I'm done. Yeah, it's cool. I don't know really what happened.
It was lap 25. I'm just dumb and don't know how to read.
You're fine. I just want to make sure. But yeah, it was weird to see a failure of like that happen.
My gut reaction when I saw that was I wasn't sure if it was a fault of the car or fault with Fernando or a combination of both. Because Fernando did take that curb. Well, he took a lot of that curb. He was eating that curb. And I don't know if there was something that just unsettled the car enough to just break the suspension the way it did, but it looked like it snapped pretty easily.
Yeah, it's especially with these Formula One cars. They're built for obviously to last a long time. But yeah, it was really weird because I that corner you kind of do want to take some of the curb, not all of it because off tracks, blah blah blah. But like, yeah, it was just decided not to work anymore. And then like it looked like he had a flat tire coming down that back stretch because it was just sagging so much to the one side from that
Hmm.
broken suspension.
Max Verstappen coming in. Do you have anything else after that or around that?
No, just on lap 10. That's when Liam decided to pit to remove this off. So they've got 10
Yes.
laps of just eh, we'll try it. Oh, it didn't work. All right, cool.
10 laps does kind of seem like the lifespan of the soft tires on Monza this season
Yeah.
too, or this year
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, and I don't get because Pirelli announces what grade they're going to have because they have C1 through C6, different grades of tires. Some degrade faster than others. Blah blah blah. Does V Carb not do any homework to realize like, okay, this tire is not going to last long?
Like I said earlier, I think that they knew it was only going to get him about 10 laps. I think they just expected more out of Liam within those 10 laps. They
Yeah,
probably expected him to gain at least a position or two so he wasn't dead last, and it just didn't work out. It was just a gamble.
yeah. Gamble that didn't pay off. Is it more? The driver or the setup or the car, I should say. Like, would a different driver in that situation be better?
I mean, we have a direct comparison. That's the
That's
other
true.
thing. Liam
And, yeah,
Lawson's teammate, Isaac Hadjar, I mean, he did fine.
and he started from the pits.
He did. We can get
Like,
more
we
into
didn't
that.
even mention that. Yeah,
Yeah,
we didn't mention it yet, but yeah, that start of the race, he started from the pits.
he really did. And that is the great thing about there being two driver teams is you have a direct comparison. And I know
Yeah,
not every car is always the same because there's a number one and a number two driver. Some drivers get better upgrades first, but it's pretty damning to see Isaac compared to Liam. And Liam is a good driver in his own right, but sometimes F2 and F1 success doesn't translate.
yeah, and it's weird for Liam because he's had time in the Red Bull too. Like, he's had time in like the faster car, and I just I I I don't know if it's getting to his head, getting demoted, or if something's going on. But yeah, it just feels a little off.
He should be happy that they sent him to the V carb. I think that is the best possible thing that could happen. That McLaren, right, right. It's crazy. It's just crazy.
The papaya rules, just in general.
Yeah. Oh well, sorta. Um, I I
Uh,
guess this is the time to go into that though, huh? The
yeah,
papaya
the
rules.
papaya rules. I mean, out of all teams, like, they seem to be one team that doesn't really have many rules against each other. Like, just battle it out, like, you're good. But then this time, just going, they're like, swap positions because you had to also stop. Or at least that was my perspective as a non McLaren fan.
Hmm.
I don't know how it felt as a McLaren fan, but
I I have mixed feelings about the papaya rules. So I am glad that they figured out a way to um have two number one drivers. And it feels like they're doing a really good job of it. Them asking for the swap was a little weird because I'm a Lando fan. So I should be happy that Lando finished second, but it wasn't an earned second. I'm very much of the let them race mentality. And it felt dumb and it felt like it didn't matter. Especially I heard Lando's pit wall get onto him. And they said, okay, it's or Oscars. It's like, hey, you did it for Lando last year. He'll do it, or you do it for him this year. Just do the swap. But the difference is when it happened last year at Hungary, that was for the win. And there was more weight to that, especially in that championship when Lando was actively fighting Max. This was just a second and third place swap. It didn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, maybe Lando closed the points gap a little bit, but not really. Not enough to matter. It felt dumb and unnecessary, and I'm so sick of all the discourse I've been seeing of people just piling onto Lando. Because that's what happens in sects of this fan base, the Formula One fan base. They just love to dogpile on Lando for whatever reason. I've seen quotes from former drivers crap talking him, saying, "Oh, if Lando crashes, does that mean Oscar has to crash too?" And it makes me so angry because that's papaya rules. That's not what it is. But when they made Oscar swap with Lando in Hungary, there wasn't this kind of discourse around it. People were just like, "Oh, baby little Oscar." People, for some reason, have it in their head that Lando is favored and he's Zach Brown's like baby and favorite boy. But I don't think that's true at all. That being said, I still don't fully I think this swap was their way of trying to make up the Hungary thing to Lando last year, and I think it was McLaren trying to give the perception that they're trying to be fair about it, but like I said, it didn't matter at all ultimately. And honestly, Oscar was faster. Look right here. I've done some research. I've got some stats pulled up. I comparing Lando and Oscar's lap times at Monza. Just quick visually, you can see right away Oscar is represented by the red. Within the first couple laps, he is already catching up to Lando with pace. Lando also lost some pace in the first couple laps. It's to be expected, it's everybody's close. But then once they settle in, you can see that yeah, Oscar has some peaks and valleys, but by lap 20, him and Lando are basically matching times up until you start to see Lando in the like by lap 30 to lap 40, especially right before they pit. Lando just does not have the same pace that Oscar has, but they're on the same strategy. So Oscar had the pace around Monza. He was just faster. The Lando pit stop didn't help anything at all. And it is weird that whenever there's a pit stop problem at McLaren, it always affects Lando. I'm not going to get into conspiracy theories, though. I think that was mostly just because it was a double stack situation, and that's never easy for the pit crew.
Yeah.
But Oscar was just faster. Oscar had the pace, and that's why me, as a Lando fan, am saying it was a dumb decision, and the Papaya rules are whatever. But what's made me the most upset is the discourse that's surrounded all of this. People just dogpiling on Lando when it's dumb. It's nothing to dogpile on. Even there was even a tweet from Martin Brundle regarding the Papaya rules. He said, when this loads, clarifying a misunderstanding on the switch. McLaren has pre-agreed situational set of racing rules covering various happenings. It will be nowhere near as basic as a one parity rule. Yesterday's switch creates no precedent other than the same scenario occurring again. Anything else will be covered by a different rule or agreement. So drawing extreme comparisons to if one now stops, crashes, does the other need to now park up, doesn't hold water. And he's absolutely right. Papaya rules are more than just team orders. There's a whole scenario and different scenarios. I bet they have a whole flow chart in the
Yeah.
paddock of if this happens, then do this, 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 and this. That's the cost of having two number one drivers. And I think with this, having two number one drivers, McLaren is handling it really well and doing a really good job with managing these people. And Lando and Oscar don't seem to have any kind of animosity toward each other either. Like, obviously, Oscar last week, the last race, Oscar, I'm sure, was happy on the inside that Lando DNF'd because his car blew up. But I think that they both kind of know where they stand in the team. I don't think one is favored over the other. And Zach Brown is really good about letting them race, and he's really good about, hey, if there's an advantage on one, he's usually really good about if one has the advantage and the edge, let him keep going. But again, I think that they did the switch just to try to give off the perception or make up Hungary last year to Lando, which again isn't even comparable because one was for the win and one was for second. What does that
Yeah.
matter? Anyway, that's my rant.
No, you're fine. I think you're right. Especially, it's weird just keeping scores for that long. I think once the season ends, there shouldn't be a score to keep anymore. But
Mhm.
it is. I think balancing two number one drivers is super hard. And you have the situations like you used to have at Mercedes with Bottas and Lewis. You had an obvious number one, obvious number two.
Mhm.
Bottas was obviously the number two. But then you would have places like Red Bull, which we don't have a number one driver. We like them both equally. And then you have the Max Verstappen and Danny Ricciardo situation, kind of like a Baku, where they're both just racing as hard as they can. No team orders, just go. And then you get that incident which happens. And then I don't know. I think part of being Zach Brown in a situation like this, having two number one drivers is a good thing, but it's also going to be like balancing the egos and everything. Kind of tying it to NBA in a weird way. Former coach Phil Jackson he was the coach of the Bulls back in their heyday in the 90s. He said the hardest part was balancing all their egos
Mhm.
between all those players. And I think that's going to be the kind of issue is like that would be the hardest part as Zach Brown, not just saying you're number one, you're number two, is balancing the egos. Like, okay, you think you should be world champion. You think you should be world champion. Well, go show it to me. And I like McLaren for that, where they just go, if you think you should be world champion, just go do it then.
Yeah, I
There's
really
not a
like Zach Brown's style because I think that he's learned from the past teams that have tried to do this. And the famous example, because the closest comparison to this championship battle right now is Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton 2016. I don't think
yeah,
Nico, I mean, this is before I was watching. I don't think Nico was Mercedes doing a dual number one driver thing at that point?
I think they were trying to,
But it
but
didn't
then
work. But they had to
so
walk so Zach Brown could basically figure out. I think he found a good balance.
yeah, and I think they were like, there was stuff that they were trying to give Lewis the edge, but Nico wasn't gonna do it, like
Hmm.
switching pit crews and stuff like that. I mean, you're as long as it's not the situation like back when it was Mark Webber and Sebastian Vettel at Red Bull, where you had obvious number one, obvious number two, and then there was one race. I forgot what it was, but Vettel had a front wing that, or Red Bull had a front wing that they gave Mark Webber. It was a new upgrade or whatever, and then they decided to give it to Vettel instead of Mark Webber. And then something happened. Vettel didn't win, and Mark Webber won. And he famously said on the radio, "Yeah, not bad for a number two driver, huh?"
Uh-huh. Yeah. It's
So
for all
as
intents
long
and
as you don't have
purposes.
that,
Yeah, as long as you don't have that. And it seems like Oscar and Lando both know where they stand. Oscar is young and Oscar knows he has the pace. Oscar has a lot of confidence. And I think that he's unbothered by a lot of the decisions in the moment, of course. Like there's always heat of the moment. And Lando has the experience, and Lando's just a good team player. I think Lando is really he's a number one, but I think if something needs to happen, he'll do it. He won't always like it, but he'll do it. And I think that just the personalities of both of these drivers, they might not be best friends. It's not a Carl Lando situation, but they're getting results. At the end of the day, that's all that matters, especially for McLaren. They've already won the constructors championship.
yeah, I yeah, I don't see anything wrong with anything that you're saying about that. It's I don't know. For me, I think the hate on Lando is just it's everyone's doing it because everyone's doing it type of situation.
Yeah, Lando is like the Nickelback or Imagine Dragons of Formula One.
Yeah, I agree with them. Imagine Dragons deserve it, but
No,
Nickelback,
I
no.
I love Imagine Dragons. I'm just saying people like to pile onto it. Imagine Dragons is the new Nickelback.
Yeah, hot take. I think Train's worse, but anyways, uh, but yeah, I personally like Oscar more than Lando, but it's not because of like everyone hates Lando because Lando. It's just like I like the Kimi Räikkönen in
Hmm.
Oscar. But that's my personal take on it. That's everyone just going to pile on Lando just because it's just like how everyone hated Max because everyone hated Max, and everyone hated Lewis because everyone hated Lewis. It's just everyone hated Vettel because everyone hated Vettel. Like
Hmm.
there's always somebody to hate, and it's weird to have the championship leader not be the one that's being hated for a change. It's weird.
It is weird, and I think it's just because of Lando being there. Lando is there to deflect all of it. I think people are taking all their hatred out of this onto Lando, and it feels a little like it's mostly coming from Max fans, but I don't know.
Yeah. I'll say, but anyways, I think that was the race. Max Verstappen ended up winning it.
Yes, so you mentioned this at the top. Fastest lap in F1 history.
Yes,
This was also the fastest full race in F1 history.
it's crazy.
I say full race because there's other obviously shorter races, famously
Spa.
Spa 2021, which
Yeah,
I don't count as a full race because I believe
no.
the timing on that is like 3 minutes, which that was two parade laps,
And fun
a
fact,
parade lap.
Nikita Mazepin got the fastest lap on that race.
He did. I forgot about that.
It didn't count because he wasn't in the points.
Speaking
But
of
yeah,
drivers who everybody hates, although that one's justified. It's okay to hate Nikita Mazepin.
yeah, the whole like that's the family thing.
Hmm. But yeah, this was the fastest full race in Formula One history. I need to pull up the statistic because I had it and then I lost it. I'm pulling it up
Yeah,
right now. I'm just
you say something.
vamping.
I was gonna write it down, but I was too busy, which is weird. I was too busy watching the podium celebration, and then the Tifosi, to my surprise, were singing Max
Max
Verstappen.
Verstappen. Yeah,
We-
they were. It was interesting to see. I'm gonna chalk that up to classic McLaren Ferrari rivalry hate. So, okay, Italy 2025 was the fastest full race at 1 hour, 13 minutes, 24 seconds. It beat out the last fastest race of all time, Italy 2023, at 1 hour, 13 minutes, 41 seconds. This race was 20 seconds faster than Italy 2023.
Now, is that because the cars are faster?
It might be because of the cars are faster. It also might be because Max Verstappen. See, that's the other crazy thing that I haven't heard people talk about. This Red Bull sucks, and Max was still
Yeah.
faster than he was in the
It's
2023 Red Bull, which famously did not suck.
yeah. Well, it sucked, just not as bad. Remember, I think I can't think of his name. Mercedes team principal,
Oh, Toto.
Toto Wolff. Remember, he has receipts from Checo saying that the car is bad,
That's true, and it was, and Checo was right.
and Checo is now going to be rightfully driving for Cadillac.
I'm so excited for that.
Me too.
Okay, well, now it's time for us to look at this thing that I'm less excited to look at than you are because you did better than me. Let's look at our predictions for this race.
Okay.
So, we'll start with your predictions. Your main two predictions was McLaren 2 out of 3 podium. Congrats.
Yep.
You got that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Your second prediction was both Aston finish in the top 10.
I had too much trust in Lance.
I don't think it was a Lance problem, though. I think the real problem was Alonso.
Yeah, that's true. I like that's true.
But your bold prediction was one Ferrari DNF, which is an evil thing. That is some evil juju to put on Monza.
Yeah, I just felt like it was going to happen. I mean, it's Ferrari. Yeah.
I mean, that's fair. It is Ferrari, but Ferrari somehow uses all of their luck for the season, usually, on this race, which I don't know how much luck they had in this race, but I mean, they both finished in the points. Nothing major happened. They were fine.
Yeah.
Moving on to my predictions. I got this one right. Gabby Bortoletto getting a top 10. I love him so much. He's my favorite rookie, and I'm saying that fully aware that I also love Isaac. But Gabby getting a top 10 makes me happy every single time. It is really cool to me that most of the rookies, two of the rookies that came in this season, I'm going to put 3 with an asterisk because of Kimi Antonelli. They're consistently finishing in the points. It feels unreal. I don't know the last rookie class that had this kind of production value.
I can't think of the last rookie class that was this good. Like I can think of a rookie class that was good later on, like because even when you think of the rookie class with George, Lando, Alex,
That's a really
like
good rookie class, but they weren't
yeah,
good. Like they were
yeah, because
fine, but they weren't like
George
this.
was in a Williams. He was like, remember Facts? He passed more people on lap one.
George and a Williams. That is one of my favorite parts of 2021, by the way. That's when I started to fall in love with George because he could pull a lot out of the 21 Williams.
That's why I started to fall in love with him. And then once we came over to Mercedes, I started falling out of love with him.
And finally, my bold prediction, which is the stinkiest thing I think I've ever done.
It wasn't too far. I think your bold prediction was closer than mine.
Lewis Hamilton will win the race. He did not. I felt like it was in the cards. I felt like I believed in fate too much, is what it is. Obviously, that did not
It was
happen.
closer than mine.
It's true. Lewis did end up finishing decent. And with that, we can transition to our driver ratings. I'll let you start. We're going in championship order from last year. No, we're going in race finish order. Which
all right.
is also basically race finish order. So start with Max.
I got him at a 10. I mean, but Max Verstappen. That's my race notes for him.
I also got 10 out of 10 for Max. He won the race. He fast, broke record. Good driver.
Yeah, I mean, is there much to say more about him?
No, not at all.
Uh, then number 2 would be Lando. I'll let you go first on this one.
I gave Lando, my favorite driver, an 8 out of 10. He didn't have the same consistency or pace as Oscar, but he still did well enough with the pace. I'm not going to count that pit stop against him because that's not his fault.
Yeah.
But 8 out of
Okay.
10, it feels like it was a solid drive. He did what he could.
I got him at an 8 as well. I mean, it's just McLaren doing McLaren things. It's they're fast, they're good. It's just that one little hiccup that wasn't really any one of their faults. They didn't step a foot wrong that race.
Hmm.
And going on to the next driver, which would be Oscar, I have the same notes. McLaren doing McLaren things. They're just fast. There's nothing about it.
So for Oscar, I gave him a 9 out of 10.
Oh,
Strictly because of that chart that I showed earlier.
yeah.
He had consistent pace and he was faster than Lando. I mean, you could see it visually represented on the chart. He had a better race than Lando did, so he gets a 9 out of 10 for me.
That's a. I kind of I like that. Weight at that. I like that.
Hmm.
All right. So
Charles
after
Leclerc.
I gave him a 7, and my notes are it's a George race. Somehow finished top 5. Fun fact: there's only 3 races where he's not finished in the top 5 this year, and somehow he's just always there.
Hmm.
It's weird. He's just like it's like that the Office meme where Dwight looks around and sees Angela. He's like, "Oh crap, that's just him. He's just there. How? I
One
don't
of the
know."
most consistent drivers in F1 history, probably.
Yeah, he's just there. Don't get me wrong, I like it, but that's what I gave him. It's just a George race.
I gave Charles a 6 out of 10. He did fine. He held on to fourth, so GG. But otherwise, it was kind of a quiet race for the most part, I felt.
Yeah, I agree with that.
George time. I gave George a 7 out of 10. Getting his Ferrari to sixth after. Nope,
Sure.
wrong one.
Yep. Lewis,
I Yes. I was looking at
I got you.
Lewis.
I got you.
Lewis. Anyway, my brain is ever. It's been a long day. I gave Lewis a 7 out of 10 because that he got his Ferrari to sixth place after starting 10th. That's decent work for Lewis, who, honest, not mincing words, he's been struggling. He's struggling this season. So I hope that this goes a long way to help his confidence, which is a weird thing to say about a Ferrari driver who's a legend at Monza. But, you know,
Yeah. I gave him a 7. I mean, getting the Ferrari to up to the points at Monza in this car, I gave him +1 for it too. Like it was a good race, and he did it in this car at this race. It's a solid 7.
mhm. Next up, we have Alex Albon.
Alex, I gave him an 8. I mean, Alex being Alex, it was a hell of a race. And then I got a one bold take if you're free for a hot take right
Yeah,
now.
give it to me.
If you got your oven mitts on, you ready to hold this hot take?
Okay.
He will win in a Williams before his career's over.
Really?
He has that pace. He has that tire whisperer in him. I think he can do it. I really do. He's consistent. He shows the pace, and like I said, he can hold on to those tires. I think it might be a race where he just holds on to those tires forever.
I'm inclined to subscribe to that hot take. I'm going to cautiously subscribe to that hot take, but I think it's a good take. It's certainly interesting, and Williams is doing their damnedest to kind of make their own mark. They really want to show that they aren't the number 2 Mercedes team anymore.
Yeah, they really want to push themselves away from that. They don't want to be the V carb to Red Bull.
They really don't. I gave Alex an 8 out of 10 as well. Oh, we are syncing up again. He's proving again that he is incredible and he's doing amazing things with this Williams. My example is going from 14th to 7th. That's amazing.
Yeah,
Especially when you compare him to his teammate, who we can talk about later.
Okay, who's next?
Gabby.
I got him on a 5. He had a race. and he finished in the points. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't anything special. I mean, especially comparing to his teammate. I mean, he had a pretty good race because his teammate didn't start, but so it's kind of hard to compare it to his teammate. I should say, sorry, but
Mhm.
yeah, it's he had a race.
I gave him a 6 out of 10. That 6 is a rookie tax that I'm giving him, because he finished in the points, and that's good, as a rookie, again, and that is really important for the team after Hulk didn't start. So I think that that combination of factors is what bumps him to a 6 for me. He did end up losing positions though, which is why he's not higher than 6.
Yeah. Okay. That's a fair judgment there.
From
All
one
right.
rookie to the next, Kimi Antonelli finished
Uh,
ninth.
I got him at a 5. It's a solid race. Again, this time you can judge him like to his teammates, and I mean, his teammate is like somehow always in the top 5.
Mhm.
So it's I don't know. It's kind of the like you said rookie tax. Like I'm not judging him too hard yet. Year 2 maybe, but year 1 no. He just got his driver's license.
He did. He did just get his he got a form of his driver's license because I think in Italy, I did some research in this after I looked this up. You can drive, but only a certain cc of motor, basically Fiat, up until you get
Weird.
to a certain age, and then they start letting you drive normal cars, which I don't think I hate. I think that's an interesting way to do
Yeah.
driver's
It's like
licenses.
it's like the formula system but with cars.
Kinda, yeah.
Your driver's license. I kind of like it.
So I gave Kimmy a 5 out of 10. He's struggling. He really is. I really like him, but the last handful of races that we've seen, it almost looks like, and this is a really weird word that I probably holds more weight than I should use. It feels a little regression-y. I'm not sure if it's him or the car, if he's having confidence issues, or if it was the car messing up, or if it's a combination of he has confidence issues because of the car. But I think I'm finally going to join the discourse of maybe he needed a little more time to cook before coming into Formula One. I like him a lot, but I think Toto might want him to be the next Max too bad or so bad that it might be clouding his judgment a little bit.
Nah. But do you think they brought him up at the right time with the new regulations next year? So this is a perfect time just to get your feet wet.
Yeah, and that's also a really good point, because it is a clean slate next season.
Yeah. New engine. Yeah, not. There's a new engine rigs.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be like more energy or more electricity power. I'm sure we'll get into it more in this off season, but that's later on down the road. But yeah, it's new regs for engine, new regs for the body.
Hmm.
It's a perfect clean slate, like you said.
Rounding out the top 10, nice little cluster of rookies scoring points in
Yeah,
this race. Isaac Hajar, what'd you give him?
7. He started from the pits and ended in points. Did you see the social media post that he did?
No, I didn't.
He called their admin, which is their social media manager, and
Hmm.
he's like, "Hey, admin, where you at?" And the guy's like, "I'm in the pits." He goes, "Where you at?" And goes, "I'm in the points." And then like hung out the phone, and that is the perfect thing. He started in the pits, ended in the points. I
That's
mean,
incredible.
in the V carb. Please don't get demoted. Please, please, please.
Once again, I continue to fall deeper in love with Isaac. He's not gonna be Gabby for me, but I really like him. I gave him an 8 out of 10. He started from the pit lane. He finished in the points in the V carb. It's Isaac season. He
It is
is
the
still
worst.
firmly my rookie of the year candidate. And if he doesn't get rookie of the year, I don't know. Like he has to. He really has to get rookie of the year at this point.
Yeah. You know that scene in Ratatouille where the old guy takes a bite of the ratatouille at the end?
Mhm.
Spoilers, I guess. Uh and it's like the flashback. I get that when I see Isaac, and it's like I get flashbacks to Pierre. I'm like, give me that French driver doing this in my team. It feels so good.
Ah, I'm glad that we had a cushion of feel goods because now it's going to get
Yeah.
depressing again.
No, it's a
11th
credit.
place.
Carlos Sainz. I gave him a 4. He had a race, but I gave him -1 for wrecking Behrman, which Ollie should not have gotten the penalty for.
Yeah, no, I firmly agree. It was really weird of the FIA to punish Ollie for that and not
Yeah.
Carlos. Um, I gave him a 5 out of 10. The Williams has always been good at Monza. That's just kind of their whole bit. For whatever reason, that Williams has always had deadly straight line speed, and it's always been very confusing. But it is what it is. Williams knows how to build a car for Monza, and they probably lost that a little bit in their quest to become a better rounded team. That they just can't set it up that way anymore. But what's really damning for Carlos to me is Albin. Albin did it. Albin
Yeah.
did fine. And Carlos, who we know is a good driver, is just continuing to not adapt very well to this car for whatever reason. I'm hoping next season with the new regs, then we can see a little more consistency with the two. But it's rough. It's rough out there for Carlos
Yeah,
Sainz this season.
it really is. I just Williams has so much potential.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we got Ollie.
Oh, speaking of,
Yeah, I give him a 5 because he got wrecked and then wrongfully assigned a penalty assigned to him. So uh, I can't. It's almost like a default 5 for him because like you don't know what it could have been.
mm-hmm. I gave him a 5 as well, but it's because he lost position, which was the real thing for me. He couldn't maintain his position. He was giving the 10-second penalty, which you talked about. I also don't agree with, but it was a 5 out of 10 for me. Next up, Yuki Tsunoda, your boy.
Yeah, well, former boy, he switched teams, so it's no biggie.
Oh,
I'm not hurt at all.
so you're a team over driver guy.
Well, my favorite. If I'm going to be honest, Pierre, my number 1 driver. Love him.
I've thought about this a lot. I don't know what I would do if Lando left McLaren because I love Lando and I'm sure I'll keep up with him, but McLaren's my team, so I don't know if I'm a driver over
Yeah,
team or team over driver, or maybe I just like Formula One.
yeah. I think that's what it all comes down to, which is a Formula One.
Yeah.
Like Formula One's just a great sport. But anyways, Yuki, I gave him 3 points. He's out of the points. It came to score points in the Red Bull. Like Max. Granted, they did have different rear wings, but like, come on. That means if you're not having the same setup as Max, you can fine tune a little bit more to what you want and what you
Mhm.
can feel is better, and you still don't score points.
Yeah, I gave Yuki a 2 out of 10. He started in a decent position, but he hemorrhaged. He didn't lose places. He hemorrhaged positions and finished outside of the points. That is a tough look for a Red Bull number 2.
Yeah, I mean the Red Bull number 2 curse continues.
We might have to start adjusting our perception of Red Bull. Just in general.
Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna have to do is how people adjusted their Ferrari perception.
Hmm.
Like I think besides Max, I think Red Bull should just be. We just got to assume that they're low or a high low team. Besides Max, like because like Max is the outlier somehow.
Yeah, for sure. The last driver to finish on the lead lap, 14th, Liam Lawson.
I gave him a 5. He had decent race pace, but obviously off the pace compared to Isaac. Also of note, I did give him a 4, and then after going through the race strategy again, I bumped it up to +1 because I don't know what that strategy call was. It's Chat GBT made that strategy call, I swear.
So this is probably our biggest discrepancy that we've had so far. I gave Liam a 7 out of 10
Wow.
because, and we will get more into this, apparently he's one of the only drivers to take advantage of the Alonso DNF, and he managed to gain 4, technically 3, positions to finish 14th, despite everything, starting on softs, not getting anywhere in 10 laps. He was still able to pull out what I would consider a decent result given the cards he was dealt.
Okay. I can see how you get that. You get there from there.
The last 15 through 20, Esteban Ocon.
I gave him a 4. My notes are literally raise. He had 1 mistake, 0 gain, 0 loss.
I give him a 3 out of 10. It was a sloppy drive. He forced Lance off to gain a 5-second penalty. He finished where he started despite Alonso finish or the Alonso DNF. He
Yeah,
didn't impress me at all.
yeah. I'm glad we're both on the same page with him. Like he's just, hey, he's there. It sucks, but he's there.
Hmm. Pierre Gasly.
My favorite driver. I put 5, and my notes are had a race. Just
Yeah.
Alpine being Alpine. They're there now. They're just there.
One of the
They kind of
teams of
remind
all
me.
time.
Yeah, they kind of remind me of like the Alfa Romeo. You're just like, oh yeah, they are a team out there, aren't they?
Hmm. I gave him a 5 out of 10 as well. Started 20th, finished 16th due to a DNS and a DNF, and that's the only reason that he finished where he did.
Next up, Franco. I had the same comments for that. Just had a race. Alpine being Alpine.
Yeah, I gave him a 6 out of 10. He did a race. He was legally a driver on a Formula One race on a Formula One track.
Yeah. This is like this is probably my biggest. Next up, Lance is my biggest like gripe of this weekend. I gave him a 3. He was out in Q1, outperformed all weekend, but he didn't wreck, so there's that. So I gave him a 3.
Hmm. I gave him a 2. Remember last week when I told you that Lance frustrates me because when he wants to race, he can race,
Yeah.
and then when he doesn't feel like it, he does bad. He was not feeling it on the Sunday. He just did not care. He didn't want to be there. I don't know where he wanted to be, but it wasn't in Italy, and it wasn't in an F1 car.
Yeah, it was all weekend too. He was out in Q1.
Yeah.
It's just he was not wanting to be there.
Hmm. Next up, first DNF. Well, only DNF, I guess. Alonso.
Yeah. I gave him a 5 because not really his fault. So defaulted to 5.
I gave him a 4. Same reasons, he was fine. Although I'm not sure if the suspension thing was his fault or if it wasn't, or if it was a combination of both. So that's where the 4 is. And finally, Nico Hulkenberg, Mr. DNS.
I got a NA for not applicable, but or default to 5. I'm like, I don't know. I don't need it to start. So
See, and I gave him a 1 out of 10 just because I need to have a value in the spreadsheet.
yeah.
It's not his fault, but there's no way to rank him, so it's 1. A DNS is just a 1 for me.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. My default to 5. I feel like you can gain or lose from there. That's the way
Fair
I
enough.
do it. I like how we have different vibes.
Yeah, it's vibe ranking. That's all power rankings are.
It really is. That's the new motto.
All right, real quick, we have a few minutes, so let's touch on some news topics. The first one I want to touch on, Pierre Gasly. He's been extended at Alpine through 2028. How are you feeling about this?
If they can pull it off, then I'm really happy for it. I'm really glad that he found a place. But if it continues the way that he's been since he's been at Alpine, it's kind of awful. I mean, it's all he went to Alpine because of the whole Oscar Piastri situation. Like that was what triggered this whole thing.
One of the funniest things to ever happen.
Yeah, that tweet is just, it
Mm.
is gold. It was comically done, but yeah, it's just I feel like he hasn't done much since he's been there, and it sucks. It's like I feel like he has a lot of potential. I feel like he got sacked too early at Red Bull,
Yeah.
and I think he did good at VCAR or AlphaTauri at the time. 3 podiums, 1 win. I don't know. I just hope they get the new regs right.
I do too. And it's interesting to me that they wanted to extend him so far because that is through 2028. That is a commitment. I'm be nervous if I'm Colapinto, but they really need to figure out who their second driver is going to be. I don't think Franco's going to be here next season, but who else do they have? Who else is ready for them to step up? Who can they take? And I would be nervous of that person because that kind of contract is a lot of money that Alpine may or may not have, and they don't know. They're ready to make a commitment like this without knowing what their car is going to be like. They must be either really confident in what they're putting together, or They just wanted French guy at French team.
I think it might be the French guy, French team. I don't know. If they're really looking for a second driver, they could always just announce Oscar again.
You're right. Next bit of news I want to touch on. Max Verstappen is racing this weekend despite there not being a Formula One race. He's
Oh,
finally gonna run the Nordschleife race for an endurance season. He's gonna be at the Nürburgring, provided he behaves himself in the classroom. So, oh,
yeah,
so basically what has to happen is Max has to take a class and he has to do some driving tests to
yeah,
qualify to do um this endurance race at the Nürburgring. And some people think that he shouldn't have to do that because he's a Formula One driver. I think that he needs to do that because he's a Formula One driver, but it's not, this is a completely different series. And I think it is weird that some people think that a 4-time Formula One champion doesn't need to take any kind of classes or learn anything about a completely different race setup and series.
yeah. Isn't he a 3-time or is he 4-time already? I don't remember. Anyways, but yeah, it is weird that he has to do that. It's kind of you would think that the FIA super license would be trump everything in racing. You would think at least. I feel like you could just show that license to somebody. They'd be like, "Yeah, you can race. You can come on in."
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, also is it going to be Max Verstappen racing or is it going to be Franz Herman?
No, so legally he has to use his name.
Okay,
That's part of it. So it is going to be Max Verstappen racing in GT3, I believe, or
I
that
just
version of it.
yeah.
It's a very specific German series that he's racing in, but man likes
Okay,
to
it's
race.
not like yeah. He's fast.
He is.
He's good. He just does this for fun.
Next bit of news: Ollie Behrman has 10 out of 12 penalty points, and the
Oh,
first set of penalty points doesn't expire until after Brazil.
oh.
Welcome back, Kevin Magnussen.
Yeah, who is their reserve driver?
That's a really good question.
Yeah, because like if for those who don't know, you get 12 penalty points in a 12-month period. You get so many penalty points for causing an incident or stuff like that, incident on track or speed in pits, etc., etc. It's basically stuff that FIA deems unsafe. And if you get 12 in a certain amount of time, you get a race ban. And I if they fall off after a 12-month rolling calendar from when they first got on there.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Ryu
who is that?
Hirakawa is the reserve
Oh,
driver. He races for Toyota Gazoo in WEC.
that makes sense because they just signed that deal with them last year with Toyota.
Hmm. So that's good luck, Ollie. I hope you don't accident. Again, I think these penalty points were BS. I don't think
Uh-huh.
he earned them, but it's could really end up happening to where he gets a race ban before
Yeah,
Brazil.
and it's gonna suck. I mean, I wonder if there's a way for them to protest this or appeal this penalty points at least because that's I don't know. That seems really he was alongside him.
Hmm. There's got to be some process, surely.
Yeah.
Next bit, Cadillac, even though they weren't racing, they were involved in the race weekend. They simulated their performance in the Italian Grand Prix using 50 stat members between the UK and in the US. Lewis, they even simulated everything down to the driver's media commitments, so the team is aware of their availability during race weekends.
That's crazy. That shows their commitment into F1 though, and I love it. I love that they are game planning everything and they are getting ready.
I love it too. So here's how my brain works. Here's what I noticed the most about this. There's a picture that came out of them kind of in their paddock area
Yeah.
simulating all of this. And I noticed the wall behind them was yellow.
They're gonna go yellow.
I very much want them to base their F1 livery off of their um, endurance livery because I think it looks cool and I think it makes sense for brand recognition purposes. And I just want it.
Are you talking about their the Wayne Taylor one?
Yes, yes, I am.
Yes.
I love
Uh
that car. That is one of my favorite car designs ever.
Yeah, I agree. It's a very and I like them. I don't know if you can in F1, but like I know in IMSA they have the two cars, but they have like the colors flop between the two. It's really cool.
Mhm.
Anyways, yeah, I think that this really shows their commitment to F1, and it shows that they are coming. They're going to be swinging, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what they end up doing. It's gonna be awesome, and obviously, I think both of us are gonna be keeping a close eye on Cadillac next season. And
Yeah.
finally, the very last bit of news, and this is very much a last wrap-up news, but Audi has a new partnership with Adidas. So, Mercedes exclusively had rights to Adidas for their apparel and their clothes and stuff, but now they're branching out, and it's gonna be Audi and Adidas working together, which is great for the brand.
Yeah. Do you call it odd? Would you call it Audi Das? Is that? I'm trying to combine them, but yeah.
No,
Uh,
I like that. Yes, I would call it from now on Adidas.
you know what? If they, you know what? Hey guys, just pass me some royalties. You can use that name. It's fine.
What
Uh,
makes me the most happy about this is Formula 1 merch, I feel like can be very hit or miss. I
yeah.
In 2021, I got a racing kit for McLaren, and I was really good about not putting it in the dryer except for that one time. And that one time I put it in the dryer, all of the sponsors just peeled off
Oh,
because it was just very badly pressed on there. So, hey, I'm glad that because I think McLaren's working with Puma now, so that's cool. But Adidas,
oh,
we know, makes solid clothing. So
yeah.
if
I'm wearing a
you're,
Adidas shirt right now.
yeah, if you're an Audi fan and you want good clothes, then you're good there.
Yeah, and I only own one team merch, and that's AlphaTauri, and that's a clothing company
Hmm.
made by Red Bull. So those shirts are expensive. I bought it once, and I'm like, I'm never doing this again, but I'm just doing it once.
Yeah, I haven't
Uh,
pulled the trigger on another McLaren kit yet, even though I really want to. One that
yeah,
isn't broken.
yeah, but so now we have AlphaTauri with Red Bull for their sponsorship, Puma with Ferrari and Mercedes,
Ferrari and
uh,
McLaren,
McLaren, my bad, Tommy Hilfiger for
Cadillac.
Cadillac, Audi. It's just it's going to be nice to have all these different clothing companies. Like who's going to get Nike?
Ooh, that's a fun question. I hope Nike
Yeah,
wants to invest. A lot of people, so in college football, the college football space, I think a lot of people are getting away from Nike too. Oregon is going to keep Nike for obvious reasons, but a lot of people are kind of leaving Nike and actually jumping to Adidas. Funny
really.
enough. Yeah.
It's weird because in the NBA it was different. Like Thunder used to be at Adidas, and then they went to well, just yeah.
Mm.
Anyways, that's a different story for a different day.
That is a different story. And this has been Formula Friday. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or you want to comment or talk about anything, send us an email, formulafridaypod@gmail.com. We would love to go into our Formula Sack. That's what I'll call it. Sure. Formula Sack and answer any questions you have, or just if you want to talk some wheel, I'm more than happy to do that. Our opening theme was made by Patches. And next week, we're going to preview the next race that I should know, but I don't off the top of my head because I'm a big old dum dum.
I'm trying. Actually, I got you real quick. I got it on the calendar. One
Azerbaijan,
second.
Baku.
Ooh, Baku. Ah, it's a
I
street track.
Baku is my exception for street tracks. I love Baku, and I'm excited to talk about it next week.
I can't wait to hear why you like it.
Until next time, I've been Nick. That's been Lewis. This has been Formula Friday. Bye.